Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Scott K. So being a keyboard YouTuber, I do get to see a lot of different keyboards from various different sources. But today we're going to be looking at one that is designed by a YouTuber. And no, it's not my own. I know, one day. The keyboard we're going to be looking at is actually this one, the Killer 65 designed by Lewis Toh. If you recall, he's helped the community with a lot of different budget keyboard builds and mods, and this time, he decided to bring out his own design working with Aeris Studios. The Killer 65 is a 65% gasket mounted keyboard, and it comes with an interesting insert frame design. Priced at around $159, it goes after the sub $200 entry but not entry market. But given all the different options out there, can this compete? I guess we're gonna find out. We're going to take a quick look at the Killer 65 by Lewis Toh. Let's get started. So the first thing that was pretty noticeable is a large cleaver on the box with what looks like blood dripping from it. Not sure what the keyboard has killed, but it killed something. Perhaps it massacred some GMMK pros, or perhaps Lewis killed Squashy, I don't know. This Killer 65 is a very early prototype sample, and Lewis let me know that it's gonna go through some final tweaks before it actually goes to group buy. I'll try my best to point out what those additional changes might be. So let's get straight into the case. Since, in my opinion, this is the most interesting thing about the Killer 65. Unlike your typical top case, bottom case split design, the Killer 65 is actually mostly bottom case. The top consists of this tiny sliver of a frame that gets inserted into the lower case to just hold things together. Due to this design, the lower case is actually pretty thick and hefty. This does have impact to the sound as well, so we'll check that out later. The colorway I have is the midnight blue bottom with the platinum silver top frame. Going into the details, the lower case also features a counterweight in the center, in this case a PVD prism stainless steel with the cleaver logo right in the middle. I'm always a sucker for chroma finishes, but you can also get this with a more standard sandblasted look and feel as well. The Killer 65 also features a daughter board, which is always a welcome option. It allows for more flex and also a more even typing feel. Overall, the case design is sleek and minimal, and by swapping out the top insert with various different colors, you can also create a more striking look if that's what you're going for. So going into the components, the plate you get as standard is the PC plate. PC plates are softer and they definitely provide a more comfortable typing experience, and they generally also have a deeper sound profile as well. Lewis and Aeris Studios will also consider other plate options, so let them know in the interest check if that is what you're looking for. Now, the PCB. So this is where there will be some changes. The version I have has the flex cuts, but it has simple horizontal flex cuts. From what I know, the final version of the PCB will feature more individualized cuts, similar to how the PCB on the Owlabs Mr. Suit is designed. It features south-facing hot swap sockets made by Gateron. This version I have has per key RGB, but from what I know, the final version will omit the RGB to make the Killer more of a custom and a little bit less gamer. And as expected, the PCB will be QMK and VIA compatible, and it will take screw-in stabs like a proper keyboard should. And yes, the Killer will also come with foams for days, as Lewis actually calls it. It will feature a lower case foam, the mid-plate foam, and the ubiquitous P foam as well. So before we go into the build itself, let's go to a quick word from our sponsor, Ridge Wallets. Hey bro, it's 2022 and you're still using that Costanza wallet? That's the same thing as using one of these. Oh, I had no idea, man. Hey, check these out instead. This is the Ridge wallet. Many of us are guilty of carrying around this crazy overstuffed wallets with just random crap inside, and no money because they all went to Switches. Free yourself from the excess baggage by grabbing one of these sleek, streamlined wallets by Ridge. The Ridge wallet is able to hold up to 12 cards with ease, only the stuff you really need, right? And has a nice little strap or a clip option to hold your cash here as well. Well, whatever's left after all the keeps you bought. Not only does it look so sleek, it's made of durable materials like aluminum, carbon fiber, or even titanium, which this one is, and it's backed by a lifetime guarantee. It's pretty much the last wallet you'll ever buy. It comes in so many different colors, like choices you have when you're picking out your favorite keyboard. Ridge also offers these handy key cases that actually keeps all your keys together in one place as well. Looks really nice as well. Check out ridge.com/keyboard in the description below and save up to 40% before December 22nd. That's a fantastic deal on some amazing everyday carry items like the wallet or the key case. If you don't like it, you can return it back to Ridge within 99 days for all of your money back. So once again, ridge.com/keyboard and get up to 40% off. Makes for a great gift as well. Alright, so given the design of the keyboard, how the gasket is applied for the Killer 65 is straight on the plate itself. This is because the upper frame is essentially like a holding clamp more than like a case piece, so there are no indents to apply the pour-on strips to. So what is also interesting is that the Killer 65 has gaskets like all around and not just on the top and bottom like most pour-on gasket strip keyboards. The overall build is pretty straightforward and there really isn't anything you need to watch out for or can really mess up. So hey, that's a good thing for someone starting out, right? So new into the hobby, this is a good keyboard to start with. So for the first build, I decided to try it with minimal foam. So I left the case bare and open, and then I just used the mid-plate foam only. I like to use the mid-plate foams, especially on like soft plates like the PC plate builds, because it makes it much easier to insert and remove switches. Also, for flex cut PCBs, it helps to improve the overall sound. So check out my video on the flex cut PCBs if you're interested in modding that. For stabs, I already had a set of Durock V2s like ready to go in a bag, so I just kind of threw those on. For switches, I decided to go with the KTT monochromes. So these are super interesting because they are a very tactile, very sharp tactile switch. Like violently tactile as some people actually put it. The sound is like middle of the road, so it's pretty neutral without being like very deep or particularly clacky. All black PC housing with the palm stem. The color scheme actually gave me the idea for what kind of keycaps to use with this keyboard as well. Once you have all the switches in, you just kind of like connect the JST cable and lay the entire assembly into the lower case. Then you can just use the upper frame to like lock everything in screw it in from the bottom, right? So it's very easy. For keycaps, I decided to use some DCX white on black keycaps. They're very nice and clean keycaps. GMK quality at fraction of the price, so hey, you can't really lose, right? Plus, I always dig like navy or burgundy cases with like a simple white and black combination, so I think this looks fantastic. The silver accent on the top actually helps to add some flair here with a little bit of shine, but if you want to be more like a sleeper build, then you can go with the matching top to make it like more stealthy as well. And I can also tell you, without the lower case foam, the Killer 65 is one nice and soft typing keyboard, so check it out. Now, let's take a listen to see how this thing actually sounds like. So overall, the sound of the keyboard like this is fairly muted. In my opinion, it's due to how like hefty the lower case actually is. It's a very thick and solid block of aluminum and with very heavy center weight as well. You can see by the sidewalls, it's pretty thick. If you recall from my previous videos on sound, besides like the airborne sound created by switches and keycaps, the force generated from the typing also travels into the case itself. Generally, a heavier material is then harder to excite, so given the constant force you're providing through the typing, a heavier case is going to sound more quiet because it's not resonating as much. The force from your fingers is not enough to really excite it. At the same time, it'll sound more dense and deeper. So it's generally a trade-off and a balancing act where you want to optimize the case to resonate enough without sounding pingy. So in this case, it seems like Lewis chose to go with no ping over a louder sounding keyboard case. However, this is where sound modifiers also come in. So by now, we all know that PE foam helps to emphasize certain sound frequencies and ultimately helps the keyboard sound louder as well. So what happens if you try it? Let's see. So in my opinion, the case is pretty dense, so it doesn't really require the lower case foam at all. However, the PE foam helps to up the volume of the board a bit, and in my opinion, it delivers the best sound for this Killer 65. What is also interesting is that in the Killer 65, the PE foam doesn't really create much of like a marbly sound, but rather it just amps it up a bit. And along with the KTT monochromes, the overall sound signature of the Killer 65 is more on the clackier side as well. This, in my opinion, is because you're hearing more sound generated by like what's going on in the plate, PCB, and switch, and less from the case itself. So, the Killer 65 is going for that no-nonsense, great typing feel and experience without breaking your wallet kind of theme. I know, there are a lot of these kinds of boards out there being offered now, and with that, at the end of the day, it's all going to be a selection based on your preference and what kind of look you're really going for, right? Like, do you want a smaller, do you want a larger, do you want it to look a certain way? As I see it, the Killer 65 offers a nice and clean design with a unique frame inlay and provides a very comfortable typing feel in a sub $200 package. Based on my preference, I do wish the case is able to create a little bit louder sound profile, but I mean, if the keyboard is named the Killer, I guess it wants to be as silent as possible, I think. But if you do want to make this louder, PE foam and tape mod would definitely do that for you, so you do have that as an option. Finally, from what I know, Lewis is trying to keep the shipping cost below $25 for Southeast Asia and the US, so this Killer 65 may be a killer deal at $184 delivered to your door. How I would rank the characteristics of the Killer 65 based on my experience is: number 1, typing feel. It's a soft and comfortable design. Number 2, the actual case design and the customization capabilities. Number 3, the features it has. And finally, number 4, the sound. Hey Lewis, great job at your first stab at designing your own board, and wish you the best of luck with the Killer 65. As usual, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll have more content for you in the future. Thanks.